Well, welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse. We're so glad you're here for another episode. We have the most incredible women right here from Omaha, Nebraska. And you know, Omaha is known for Warren Buffett, but let me tell you,
yes,
Warren Buffett ain't got nothing on her.
I agree.
We're so glad you're here, Dr. Sasha. So Dr. Sasha Shilcutt is a cardiac anesthesiologist. Try and say that 10 times. But more importantly, as she says,
yes,
she's an entrepreneur. She's an author, an international speaker, and mother and wife, and amazing friend, coach, and mentor to many women. As the founder of the Legacy Collective and Brave Enough, she has led sold-out women's leadership events worldwide. I told you she was a big deal. She's coached thousands of women and built a global community dedicated to connection and growth. And you will see that right away when she opens her beautiful mouth. Featured in Forbes and much, much more, Sasha is a TEDx two-time author and host of the Brave Enough Show podcast with over 400,000 downloads.
Okay.
Holy buckets.
Okay, I heard that, Sasha, and right away I stopped reading your bio because I did, honestly, it was late last night and I thought, oh my gosh, who am I? Who am
Imposter syndrome.
You know, who am I to be worthy enough to, and here we are, we're probably going to dive right into that. But oh my goodness, what, and I know you're so humble, but it is intimidating.
Well, but you're intimidating. You just ran a half marathon and you're learning how to pole vault. So, like, I hear that and I'm like, oh, man, I went for a 3-hour wellness walk with a coffee mug this morning and I felt like I was Olympian. And then this one over here. So we all have things as women that we can either be inspired or compare.
Yes.
And you inspire me. And I hope I inspire you.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you can always pick a path when you see a woman doing something that is incredible. You can do two things.
Cheer.
You can either cheer and be inspired and be like, how did she do that? I'm going to learn something from her. Or you can be jealous.
Yes.
Right? And project.
Yes.
Or feel ashamed that you haven't accomplished that.
Exactly.
And all of us, I think, at times choose both of them at different times.
Yeah.
But when we're aware of it, we can just quickly jump on the other path.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more, but I had to be so fully transparent of like, oh my goodness, like, oh my, I texted Amy last night. I said, did you read the entire bio? Like, oh my gosh, what are we thinking? But that's why we're here, right? We're here to empower women. We're here because all three of us independently, we love showing women what they're capable of and who they are.
Yes. And not playing small.
Right.
Amen.
Taking up space.
Yes.
You know?
And there was a time that you were playing small.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And
I thought that was the path to success.
Right.
Like the smaller I am and the quieter I am, the softer I am, the less me I am. Like I just need to walk on this narrow tightrope of what I saw women doing in the workplace. I thought that was going to get people to like me and make sure everyone around me, especially in power, like thought I was on the team, a team player. And I wasn't. I was just going to kind of walk the path, especially when you are in academia. I think that's very well lined. There's a very well lined path that you're expected to walk. The interesting thing is I had this very wrong belief that the more I had experience in healthcare and medicine, and I think this is applicable in any area of work as women, I thought the older I got, the more experience, the more I got promoted, the more I would be accepted for being Sasha, and the less sexism I would experience. And the opposite actually happened. When you're in the trenches and you're a worker bee and you're just head down doing whatever it is early in your career, you don't experience a lot of, at least I didn't. I think women experience less sexism or less bias or less just criticism, if you will, than you do when you start becoming a threat to power. Or when you start speaking up, or you start taking up space, or you start asking questions like, why don't we do this? Or why can we do this? Or can I do this? And I was really surprised that, the more I spoke up, the more I found my voice, and the more I started speaking up for other women, the more backlash I got. And thankfully, I realized like I have a choice to make here. This is like a pivotal part in time in my career where I can either play small and shrink and just get back on the line and walk that little path, or I can branch out and I can be authentically who I am and build things, start things, do things that are beyond what the traditional career path of medicine was at that time.
Which is show up and put people to sleep. I mean, you know, and practice anesthesia.
Right.
Like that is what you're put on earth to do. So
Right.
Was there a single event, or was there a feeling, or was there a tug? What caused you? Because we look at you and you're this very successful cardiac anesthesiologist. You're beautiful, by the way. I mean, stunningly beautiful. I mean, you're the whole package, right?
Yes.
Like, come on. What was there something that happened, or an aha moment?
Yes. Back in 2013, I was early in my career. I think I'd been out 5 or 6 years at that point, and I had very early success in academia. I was speaking on stages, traveling all over the country. I had just gotten the first NIH grant in my department. I was doing a lot of things that I thought I was checking the list, you know, and I was so unhealthy. I was burned out. I weighed 30 pounds more than I do today. I never spent any time with myself. My marriage was a shell because I had 4 young children. I was trying to just show up as mom and show up as a physician, and I felt like I was failing at both of those things. And I had lost my identity. And that year, someone I knew in medicine who I looked up to, she took her life by suicide. She died by suicide. And it really woke me up. It was like, what are you doing? Like why are you living this life that you've worked so hard to study, this path, this career, and you don't have any joy? And at the same time, I was feeling really isolated. Like I recognized, I don't remember the last time I had coffee with a friend, or I had a conversation with a girlfriend. And am I the only person feeling this way? And so I made it a decision that year to start getting up earlier and spending 30 minutes a day with myself. And at the end of that year, a lot of things had happened. I had enormous clarity that I had lacked boundaries, that I didn't really know who I was because I just said yes to everything, that I had prioritized my career and my kids over friendships and my marriage. So I put that back together and started a text group with 9 women doctors. I reached out to 9 women doctors in a text group and said, will you be my friend? And they were like, well, what does that entail? What is the time commitment?
What's the time?
Yeah.
let me see if I can squeeze it in.
Yes. But that text group grew to a Facebook group, which grew to thousands of women doctors. And that became my company, Brave Enough. And when I went to my employer at the time and I said, hey, I'm going to start a women's conference. And they were like, what? You put people to sleep and wake them up and get them through very difficult surgeries. And that's what we pay you to do. We're not interested in that. And I still wanted to do it. And I thought, if I want to do this, why can't I do this? And do you know who one of the most empowering people was at the time, was my hairstylist.
Oh my gosh. I know.
Because she was opening her own business, and she said, why would you need to do this conference through your employer? Why don't you just open up an LLC and do the conference? And I was like, I can do that? Like, I didn't even know. I thought, I can't do that. I have no idea how to do that. Like, and then probably over a couple months, but she would say to me, like, why do you need permission to do that? Like, why can't you just do that? Every time I'd go back every 6 weeks, she'd be like, what are you doing? Have you done it?
Right. No, I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. I'm Googling. I'm checking it out. How do you make an LLC? So then I just thought, I stick large needles in people's neck, wide awake, and float catheters into their pulmonary artery. And I'm scared to submit for an LLC? Like, what is wrong with me? But when you don't know something and you have been told, and honestly, I did get feedback like, you can't do that. There's conflict. You won't be able to do that.
Of course.
You know, And
right?
so,
Like,
and I want to be always like the person that for years I was like, I'm going to be the obedient one. I'm going to be the one that walks the line. And then that was the pivotal moment. I was like, I have to do this because if I don't do this, I'm going to have regrets. And then I started thinking about all the men that I knew that did things like this, that were also physicians. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me I can't do this, but this person owns this thing and owns that thing and owns this company. Why are you telling me, because I'm a young, impressionable woman, that I can't do this? Watch me. And that's when I went off and did it.
So that decision, I think that is so important. Molly and I talk about this all the time.
Yes.
Women, we help women make decisions because why in the heck is it so you have to check and double check with so and so, get somebody's opinion. Yes. What was the burn the boats, I'm doing this? Was there, you made the decision, was it finally when you're like, okay, I've done my due diligence, I've checked with everybody, like one day you just said it was such a deep knowing?
It was, and I just also thought, why would someone try to stop me from doing something good for other people? It wasn't like I went to my employer and said, I'm going to try cocaine tomorrow. Like, I was saying, I'm going to do this thing that's going to empower women and help women physicians. And the feedback was, no, go back to your lane, stay in your lane. Yeah. Literally, I was told, you will lose your academic career if you do this. Nobody wants to hear about women empowerment in medicine. You'll get labeled. You won't get asked to give talks. You'll get, shunned from this medical society. You won't get asked to do this thing. You won't win that award that we're putting you up for. And it was so interesting. And now I look back and I realize that it was very insecure people giving me advice because they probably saw that this was going to be successful. Mm-hmm. And they were projecting their insecurity onto me. But when someone in power or someone you even look up to tells you don't do that, as a woman, you're like, oh, well, surely they know. Right? They have more power than I do. They make more money than me. They must be right. And I think it's a really good, tip for women to hear this, because I doubted myself even after I started it. It's not like I started it and then I've never looked back. I have had so many nights of doubt where I have laid in bed at night going, oh my gosh, I just launched this course and only 2 people signed up. I made a bad decision. Or, oh my gosh, I put on this event and only half the people that I think are going to come have signed up already. What if the other half don't come or don't sign up? Like, I have done that. I still doubt myself. But it doesn't matter. The doubt will come when you're doing something courageous and brave. The fear is a signal that you're doing something courageous and brave. So don't let it stop you. And I don't want to sit here and say, oh, everything I've done since then has been amazing and wonderful and uber successful, because it's not true. Like, there's been things I've done that haven't gone right or haven't taken off. And I learned from that and went, why didn't that take off? Okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to pivot. And now I'm going to go this way.
I love the word pivot.
Yes.
It's powerful.
It is. It's so powerful. And we have to give ourselves permission, not ask other people. Yes. Like, if you're feeling that tug, listen to it.
And I think that is something that's so important for women. We can fight for our children. We can fight for our patients. We can, whatever, right? Everybody else. And you can listen to your intuition for your children and family. But then when it comes to yourself, and fighting for yourself, we're the last person that we can fight for or stand up for.
Yeah. Well, it's because we've been socialized since we were girls to young girls. We're socialized to be kind, be nice, wait your turn, raise your hand, earn gold stars. But that's not how the world works, right? That's how elementary school works.
Yes.
And if the world was elementary school, we would all be in the White House and in all the positions, and there would be no pay inequity, right? But that's not how it is. And then we take that into, we learn to be people pleasers, to always be the martyr, to be the most selfless person on the planet is to be a good woman, right? Right. And so when a woman says, I deserve a raise, or I'm starting this, or I'm fighting for myself with this, or wait, you're telling me you can't do that, but why can he do that? we get labeled and we feel icky. And when we feel icky, we think we're doing something wrong. So we just go back to people pleasing.
Yeah.
And so we're socialized to do it. And we're socialized to say yes to everything and with a smile. And even if we're drowning, we're still supposed to show up and bake the cookies and say yes. And, that's how we're socialized.
I also heard you say, and I think I'm just dominating, aren't I? I'm sorry. I'm
like in a trance because
I know.
I just love
you're
listening.
like speaking my language. I know. The loneliness. You mentioned lonely, being at the top of your career, being, and other physicians, other friends that are at the top of their career, making great 6-7 figure incomes and having great people around them, but that loneliness and that is a real thing, especially for high achieving women.
It's so
Can you go
true.
into that a bit?
It is so true. I coach such high achieving women who are at the upper echelons of their industries. And that is why I opened the Legacy Collective, because the number one thing, it doesn't matter if you're a surgeon, if you're a CEO, if you're a solo entrepreneur, if you are a mom who's doing all the nonprofits, you women are so isolated. And the higher you get and the more you achieve in life, and the more people, this is such a conundrum, the more people who depend on you, the lonelier you are.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a mic drop. Wow.
Yes. And loneliness is a risk factor for death.
Right.
Like the largest study done in the United States on the human population, the nurses study out of Harvard, it showed that if you are lonely as you age and you have fewer and fewer people and friends and social support as you age, you will die sooner than if you continue smoking. Your risk factor of loneliness is higher to cause death than smoking. So as every year of our life, we need people, we need other women, but we're so lonely the busier we become. And the more people depend on you, the lonelier you can actually be.
I think that's really key right there, is the more people that depend on you, the lonelier you can be. That's, you would think you're surrounded by people all the time.
Yes.
It's, whether you're an extrovert or introvert, that has nothing to do with it.
No.
But loneliness is real. And I worry about that next generation, right where all of our kids are.
Yes.
And working from home, not seeing anyone, isolated.
Going into college through COVID.
Yes.
Going to high school through COVID.
Yes, we all had kids in that age.
It changed the social dynamics.
Yes.
And a lot of people are, one of the biggest health crisis in our country right now is actually isolation and loneliness from a mental health standpoint. We've never had, they're saying, like even the Surgeon General said last year that we have an isolation and loneliness epidemic.
And now enter AI into it.
Right.
Yes.
And that just, to me, is just exacerbating.
Right.
I mean, it is.
Yes.
So this brings me to what you have created, because you knew that this was a problem. You felt it. And so please share with us.
Yes. And I love that it's been on your heart for a while.
It has.
So if any of you out there are sitting on a dream, or, it keeps coming up, that's okay. It did for Sasha as well. It wasn't like I came up with this idea and boom.
No. I actually wanted to start the Legacy Collective here in Omaha 5 years ago. I started noticing that, man, we don't have spaces where I personally could go in and feel like I was comfortable and I belonged there. And I was constantly looking for a place to meet a friend for coffee or a glass of wine, or work by myself for a few hours. And also I kept thinking, wow, there's this really amazing lawyer that I know, and there's this really cool, woman in IT. How can I connect them? Like how? And I'd send an email to connect two women, but then it would just kind of die. And I would always think, why don't we there's so many amazing women in Nebraska. Like, Nebraska has such great entrepreneurs, and they have such great women in medicine and in healthcare and in law and in education. Like, so many phenomenal women, nonprofits running things. And there's all these cool women groups. I'm sure you get invited to them. And I would be like, well, where are we meeting for this? Oh, this thing is at this place, or this back at this restaurant. And then I started noticing at the same time how many places were for men.
Yes.
Which is amazing. I'm glad that my husband belongs to the golf course. Like, I want him to go do that. It's good for his mental health. He goes there. They know what he likes to drink. He plays around at golf. He can go up there and hit balls. He can socialize. There's sports bars for men. There's cigar bars for men. There's, gun ranges with clubs for men, like all these things. And I thought, the only places that are in our state for women where you walk in and it's expected to be catered to as a woman are salons, nail salons, and spas. But when you go there, you're getting a service. You can't stay all day, even though I want to. Have you ever gone to the spa? And you're like, I just want to, can I just sit in the room? Don't just ignore me. Can I rent this room for the day and somebody bring me a hot tea, And I thought, why don't we have this space? And so then I did a lot of research nationally, and I was like, we need this in Omaha. We are so isolated.
Is there anything out there, Sasha, There
are similar spaces, all a little different, and have a little different hook to it or different vibe. But they do exist in Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, Atlanta. Nothing in the Midwest. So we are the first one in the Midwest.
Of course. Amazing. Cutting edge.
Yes.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And this sat on your heart for 5 years. And I'll just ask the question, what took so long?
Well, two things happened to me in the period of 8 months that just kind of pulled the rug out from underneath my life. I am a cardiac anesthesiologist. I take care of really, really sick people. And a lot of times at the end of the day, many times I've been the last person to speak to someone on this earth. And that's a heavy burden. And when I would have those moments and be driving home 1 a.m, 2 a.m, I would always think two things, Molly. I would think, I have my family and I have my house, because my house is like my oasis. I have this beautiful house out in the country, and I have, at least I have my family, or at least I have my son or my husband or my mom, right? When things happen, that's kind of how we rationalize in our brain when bad things happen to other people. And 2 years ago now, my brother-in-law died suddenly, younger than me, passed away tragically. And 8 months after that, I lost my house and 90% of my possessions in a tornado. And so the two things in my life that I was like, well, I'm okay. Right? Like, at least, this business thing flopped. Well, at least I have my family, I have my house. Like, I would always say that to myself. We're just shaken, like really shaken up and not the same. Right? Like, I lost these safety nets.
Yes.
And I have so much to be thankful for, and I know I'm not trying to paint myself as a victim, but it was an awakening in me. I thought, why? Because my plan was, I'll start the legacy when I'm 60, because I want it to be my legacy. And I thought, why would I wait 10 years? I turned 50 last year, and I thought, I just have to do this. Why am I waiting to do something in 10 years that I want to do now? Because I'm scared, because I don't know how to do it, because I have fear, because it's a really big risk, because it's a big thing. It's a big pivot. And okay, well, if those things were all taken away, would you do it tomorrow? I'd do it tomorrow. And I thought, I have to do it.
That right there. If everything was taken away.
Yep. That was an obstacle, right?
Yes.
Right.
Would you do it? Like, if someone said, hey, you're going to start this business and you really want to start this business, but you haven't figured out the $100,000 startup.
Right.
If somebody gifted you that tomorrow, would you start the business?
Absolutely.
If the answer is yes, you can figure out the
Amen.
details.
Yes.
Everything is figure out.
Everything is figure
The
out.
how will come. Yes. That is powerful. That is so powerful. Okay, so you mentioned that a couple of things. The turning 50. Why is it?
I know.
What is it about turning 50 that all of a sudden something turns on?
Did that happen to you both?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
It's like,
you know what I heard? I don't know. I feel like you would know this answer. So Amy and I went to this great longevity optimization course. Oh, you would love it. In San Diego. It was insane on hormone health. We heard from the top hormone experts, but they truly said in your 50s, the hormone experts, the hormone physicians, that your corpus callosum enlarges. And when that happens, you don't give a shit.
Yes.
Like, for real.
We were just having this conversation last night.
like,
Somebody else brought this up, and they said
really
it's like the give that no F's given hormone, and you're like, I'm done. Like,
So,
I'm doing it.
I mean,
Whatever.
so
yeah.
honestly, from a physical standpoint, I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. Like, you can actually explain it if this is true, which I'm gonna believe Dr. Mindy Peltz. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why. So when she turned 50, her husband said, "What do you want?" She's like, I've always wanted to ride a big wheel down our sloping driveway. And big wheels, I never had a big wheel. I wanted a big wheel. I wanted the green machine. It was too expensive. So we always borrowed our neighbor's big wheel, and you could pull that brake.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That was so fun.
And she said, I went online and the weight limit was 75 pounds and I didn't care. I weigh more than 75 pounds and I got that big wheel and I rode it down our driveway.
Okay,
and pulled
I love
the brake.
that story.
Is that not hilarious?
It's amazing. And also, I want to bring up something else, because something else happened to me when I turned 50. Not only did I do something I really wanted to do, I stopped doing things I didn't want to do.
most importantly, you stopped.
Okay, what were those things?
I stopped saying yes to family activities that I had no desire to be a part of. So my husband loves sports. He is a sports fanatic and he loves going to sports stuff. And I tag along with him, which most of the time I would enjoy myself some, but it would take several hours of the day. It's not like it's not like an hour thing, you know, like it's like an all day event. And now I just say, go with God. I'm not spending Saturday, my whole entire Saturday doing that with you. I love you, but I'm not all in for that. And I'm going to, and when I do want to do it, I say yes. But if it doesn't fit, the other thing that is, this sounds really silly, but this has been a life changer for me. I stopped taking on the responsibility to make everyone happy on family vacations.
Oh. Ow, that hurts.
That hurts.
Wow.
So
like,
I love planning our family vacations, and I do that. And I would always make the reservations for dinner, and I would make that we're going to get up and we're going to do beach walks, and then we're going to go to brunch, and then we're going to play pickleball, and then you people are going to golf, and then you people are going to go tennis, and then we're going to do this. Everywhere I always plan everything. And then I have teens and college people, and they want to sleep till noon. And then I would be pissed at 10 a.m. because they missed the brunch. I want a mimosa. This person, like that. And now I'm like, okay, everyone, we're leaving for dinner at a really nice restaurant at 6 p.m. If you want to be a part of that, join in. But you better have your butt in the seat at 5:50. If you're not, figure it out. You don't want to go to brunch? Your dad and I are going to brunch. You don't want a beach walk? Your dad and I are doing this. We're playing pickleball. You want to come? I just send out the itinerary. And if they show up, great. And if they don't show up, and it's so interesting because by the first of the week, nobody comes to anything. They're tired. They're exhausted. They're sleeping. And then they're like at 2 p.m., they're like, well, what? You guys went to brunch? What is there to eat? There's no food, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sorry, you read the itinerary. By the end of the week, they're up at 8 a.m. They're like, where are we going to brunch? Wait, you're going to beach walk? Wait, we're playing golf? Like, so that is brilliant. I'm like, I want a vacation too. And I wasn't vacationing because I was trying to make everybody happy on our vacations, which I should deserve
100% get.
Yeah, it's been life-changing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got so much ahead. We have gone into uncharted territory at this point because these waters are getting deep. So I think what we'll do is just like take a little tiny break and come back with part 2 because there's so much
left to unpack.
Yes. So we would love for you to come back and join us, friends, for part 2 with Dr. Sasha, because this woman it's riveting. It's riveting what you will get to hear. So we're going to see you back here for part 2 of Meet Me in the Penthouse. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Meet Me in the Penthouse. And we would love to have you follow us at www.sistersnextdoor.com.
Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, please feel free to give us 5 stars because we know you're going to find us fabulous, and pass this along to any friends that you know would enjoy this episode.